The Democratic Party is, of course, struggling to come up with good messaging ahead of the midterms. And to be honest, they're already way behind the curve on this. Republicans have their messaging. It's inflation, gas prices, all of those things that are actual pocketbook issues. And then, of course, their big thing really is the culture war nonsense that is oppressing people across the country, mostly down here in the American South. But Democrats are not just sitting idly by, believe it or not. I was actually kind of surprised when I came across this story. It turns out what Republicans are doing is right now they're holding focus groups with, Democrats and independents and Republicans and Trump supporters, trying to figure out what the best messaging is heading into the midterms. And it turns out the best messaging actually is to go after Rick Scott and his dumb-ass agenda for the Republican Party that nobody wanted him to release, but he decided to release it back in February. Remember when he called for raising taxes on poor working-class Americans? And then also in that same agenda said we're going to get rid of popular programs like Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare and, basically all of the things that the Republican base relies upon to keep themselves alive. And yes, Republicans are far more likely to use those programs than Democrats. However, when the Democrats have taken this message to the focus groups, this is phenomenal. Let me read this. When voters were asked about ending Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, Scott's plan proved to be the most potent of messages, according to the survey conducted by Blue Rose Research, a Democratic messaging and research firm. The field test showed that 65% of respondents said they would be less likely to support the GOP, 16% said it made no difference, and 19%, all conservatives, said it would make them more likely to back Republicans. This message drives the largest drop in Republican vote share among voters over 65, Latino voters, and white voters without a college degree. So, Rick Scott was told not to put out a plan. Mitch McConnell, leader of Republicans in the Senate, did not want this plan to ever see the light of day. Rick Scott and his arrogance said, "To hell with you, McConnell. I know better because I've been here for like a year and a half. You've only been here for 38 years. What do you know?" Rick Scott releases the plan, and that plan, what is in it, and by the way, Rick Scott has also been called out for this on Fox News to his face. But the contents of that plan are so bad that it actually gets conservative voters to say, "Oh, wow, yeah, I'm not voting for Republicans if they do that." How's that, Rick? How's that taste, Rick Scott, huh? That's what I want to know. You were warned by people much smarter than you, but equally as evil, to not do this. Your arrogance told you to do it anyway, and now your stupid little agenda, because of how horrible it is, might be the thing that prevents the Republicans from taking back the Senate this year. I love it, folks. I love that delicious irony. All Rick Scott had to do, literally, was nothing. All he had to do was nothing. But he did something. And now Republicans are losing their chance to take back the Senate. So hey, Rick Scott, keep doing things, because the more you do, the more voters you're turning off. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.